Welcome to Astrology Innovation. Today, I'm going to talk about something really interesting, which is three different types of zodiac systems, which is the tropical, sidereal, and true sidereal. And also make sure to stay until the end so you can know which one is the best for you. And yeah, I hope that you enjoy the video, and let's get started. Okay, so first we're gonna look at the tropical zodiac, which is the one that's mostly used in Western astrology. So if you live in the West, it's very likely that if someone asks you about your sign, for example, and let's say you are Taurus or you're, um, that means that the sun is in Taurus, was in Taurus when you were born in the tropical zodiac, the most likely if you are from the West. But there are other types of zodiac, as I mentioned before. So, yeah. So, what is the tropical zodiac? So, the tropical zodiac mainly is aligned to the Earth and the Sun cycles, which by doing this, it's also aligned to the seasons, and it's like a cosmic clock. So, if you look at the 12 constellations, we have Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and like this, we have all 12 constellations until Pisces. And each of them are 30 degrees. So 30 degrees of 12 constellations is the 360 degrees of the circle. So that's why it's like a cosmic clock, because it's a perfectly even, it's perfectly divided into these 12 parts of 30 degrees each. So the another important factor of the tropical zodiac is the precession of the equinoxes, which has a shift as to the actual sky of about 1 degree every 72 years. So this shift happens in relationship to the sidereal zodiac, which is the one that we're gonna see next. So here we have almost the same chart, but in the different zodiac systems. So if you look, for example, here at the ascendant, it's in 10 degrees of Pisces. This is sidereal. And at the same time, here it's at about 4 degrees of Aries. So this is exactly the same chart. The planets are positioned on the same place, you see? But here we have the tropical zodiac, and here we have the sidereal zodiac. So the difference is that since this is connected to the seasons and the cycles, going back to the tropical, the seasons and the cycles of the sun, uh, it begins the 0 degrees of Aries, the beginning of the zodiac, begins with the spring equinox in the northern hemisphere, and which relates to the autumn equinox on the southern hemisphere. Yeah, so this day of the equinox, when the sun is exactly aligned to the Earth's and the celestial equator, we have the beginning of the zodiac at 0 degrees of Aries, of the tropical zodiac. And so the Earth wobbles, and that's the reason why every about 72 years, this zodiac shifts 1 degree in relationship to this one, which is the sidereal. So about 2,000 years ago, both of them were the same. We will see this more clearly afterwards, but just so you have the beginning of this understanding. So now that we are in the sidereal, the first thing is to understand where the sidereal starts. So there are different types of sidereal systems. It's called Ayanamsa, the beginning of the sidereal zodiac. So it depends on which Ayanamsa you choose, where the beginning is, but they are relatively close to each other, a few degrees maybe, uh, depending on the one you like. And mainly these Ayanamsans, they have each has their own logic, and they are based on fixed stars mainly. So, for example, you choose a fixed star for the 0 degrees of Aries. So you choose a fixed star. Well, there's specific fixed stars that could be aligned to the 0 degrees of Aries. Sometimes there could be at 0 Libra, which is opposing 0 Aries. But yeah, but in summary, this is aligned to the stars, and it's fixed, so it doesn't move like the tropical zodiac does in relationship to the Earth Sun relationship. This stays fixed and is closer to the actual constellations, but it's not exactly because the constellations have different sizes. And this is also a cosmic clock, like we discussed in the tropical zodiac. So it's also 12 signs, and each sign 30 degrees. So it's also a perfect circle divided in 12 signs of 30 degrees each, making the 360 degrees of the circle, and having this sidereal cosmic clock. And now we can see both of them together. So here it's much easier to see the difference between both of them. So you can see here about 2000 years ago, the inner one is a tropical, the outer one is a sidereal one. About 2000 years ago, the beginning of the tropical was the same as the beginning of the sidereal. So it's like if you rotate the tropical like this, and then you get Aries, both zodiacs exactly aligned to each other. And then slowly, because of the shift I mentioned, every 72 years, about 1 degree, into about 2000 years, we have this shift. So now the beginning of the tropical zodiac is at the beginning of sidereal Pisces, which actually this marks the ages. So if you have heard of the age of Aquarius, this is how the age of Aquarius is coming to be. So this is 0 degrees of Aries on the tropical related to the end of the age of Pisces. And in about 420 years from now, we will enter the age of Aquarius when 0 degrees of tropical Aries aligns with 0 degrees of sidereal Pisces, which is the same as the 30th degree or the beginning of the of Aquarius. Yeah, so this is the how we can see the shift of the ages because of the shift of the tropical zodiac in relationship to the sidereal zodiac. So now another interesting thing we can see here is the planets. So for example, let's see here the ascendant. We see it's at 9 degrees of Pisces in the sidereal zodiac. And at the same time, it's about the beginning of Aries in the tropical zodiac. It's like exactly in the same place, but since both zodiacs are differently start in different places, it's on a different degree in and even sign sometimes, most of the time, in the sidereal zodiac and the tropical zodiac. And for example, here Neptune is very interesting because there's this small area where both of them have Pisces still. Until the age of Aquarius, we won't have this anymore. Uh, yeah, so this is very interesting. So right now, Neptune is on a very powerful Pisces um, placement because it's on both zodiac systems. It's in Pisces, and yeah, so hopefully you are understanding a little bit more about these two different zodiacs. So this one related to the air and the sun, the tropical one, the inner one, and the outer one related to the stars. And both cosmic clocks of 12 signs of 30 degrees each. Now we go to the True Sidereal Zodiac, which is also really interesting and different from these two. Um, so uh, its main difference is that the size of the constellations. So it's not a clock, it's not a cosmic clock like the others that have perfect divisions of 30 degrees, making the 12 signs. It takes the actual constellations, how they are in the sky. So, for example, if you look at Virgo, it's a very big constellation in the sky. So, in True Sidereal, it's a big, really big constellation as well, taking the actual sky's size of the constellation. And yeah, so the second very interesting thing is that if you look at the ecliptic, which is the path of the sun, it's also, uh, well, let's see here. For example, it goes through Aries, which is a smaller constellation, then Taurus, which is bigger, and so on. And we have the 12 constellations, but if you look between Scorpio and Sagittarius, there's a new constellation, which is called Ophiuchus. And it's a very interesting constellation, especially within this zodiac, because it takes the actual size within the ecliptic. And yeah, I might talk more about it in different videos, but um, yeah, this zodiac is very interesting. And here we can see this same zodiac. Uh, it's really cool because we can see the actual sky. And yeah, because since we use the actual size of the constellations, it relates to the actual sky. So here, for example, we see Capricorn, and here the moon is in the end of Capricorn, almost entering Aquarius. And here we have a conjunction of Pluto and Venus. Here, the Sun and Mercury, the Sun entering Ophiuchus and Mercury entering Scorpio retrograde. Um, yeah, so it's very interesting to be able to see the actual sky. Uh, so yeah, each of them has their own wisdom, and because these are the cosmic clocks, so the cosmic clock is also very powerful and has a lot of wisdom. And the one that relates to the stars has specific star wisdom. The one that relates to the sun and the earth also has special wisdom with the seasons. They all relate to all the aspects of life and spiritual, mental, psychological, physical, but they show us different dimensions of them and how they impact us in different dimensions. And so we have these two very powerful cosmic clocks, and then this very powerful connection to the actual sky. So yeah, for me, the three of them are amazing. So which one should you use? What I recommend is that you feel like intuitively and emotionally which one calls to you more, which one resonates with you. Um, yeah, which one do you feel that brings more wisdom to you right now? I would go for that one. And slowly, depending on your level, you can maybe begin learning a little bit more about the other ones. Also, I'm working a lot on integrating them. So I have many different techniques that also you can see one from the perspective of the other, also use them together in different ways, um, and also separately. So depending on what you need to learn in the moment. So it's a very interesting play of learning how to use all of them in different ways and together integrating them. So also, if you are interested in this, it would be really helpful if you leave a comment below, so I can talk more about this later on. If there's enough people interested, I can talk more about my research and my techniques that I've been developing with these three different zodiacs and integrating them. Yeah, so I hope that you enjoyed, and yeah, and good luck. Hope you have an amazing journey with whichever system or systems you choose. Um, yeah, so to stay updated, maybe if I record something else related to this or any other topic you might be interested, make sure to subscribe. If you enjoyed this, give the video a like. Um, Also, you can leave a comment, especially if you want me to expand on this knowledge, or if you have any questions, if you found anything interesting. And yeah, and also you can visit my website. Check the description below. Yeah, I'll leave other interesting related information there. You can, as I mentioned, visit my website as well and see more about my work, watch my other videos, and also if you want to book a consultation, maybe an integrative approach between the zodiacs or any other area that I'm able um, to offer with my services, I'll be happy to see you online for a consultation. And yeah, thank you for staying until the end, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you.